This week on Project Nerdy, we are talking about nerds in the news, and I have a very unique nerdy news story to share with you. I actually want to talk to you about the 2013 Georgia State Travel Guide. And I'm sure you're thinking, Kyle, what in the world is nerdy about the Georgia State Travel Guide? Well, once you see the cover, you'll know, and you'll also know Georgia has to be the coolest and maybe the nerdiest state in the country now, because we put The Walking Dead on our state travel guide. Many of you might be aware that The Walking Dead is set in Georgia, but you might not know it actually is filmed in Georgia. And what you might also not know is Georgia's experienced a huge filming boom in the last several years. The state passed a tax credit to help encourage people to film movies and TV shows here. In the last 5 years, the filming industry has taken off. It is actually huge now. They're building film studios all over the state. There's several movies and TV shows that have been filmed here in the past few years. The Walking Dead is probably the best known TV show. On movies, you've had stuff like Zombieland, The Blind Side, just to name a couple of the more prominent ones. In the last, or the current Hunger Games movie, the sequel to the Hunger Games, I should say, filmed a large part of that movie here in Georgia. So the filming industry is really taking off. So I thought it was a nerd news story worth sharing that The Walking Dead made the Georgia State Travel Guide. Because obviously a lot of people love to visit locations where their favorite TV shows and movies have been filmed. So it's a huge boom to Georgia tourism. So Walking Dead, Georgia, how awesome is that nerd news story? My nerdy pleasure this week also relates to Georgia. I had the chance to go to Savannah this past week for a conference and relate to my job. And while I was in Savannah, I was lucky enough to do some really awesome and fun stuff. And I want to focus on a quick couple items. First off, Savannah is known for having some of the best restaurants in the country, some great food. And I enjoyed two meals I wanted to mention specifically. First, I might have had the best meal I've ever had at a restaurant on River Street, which is the historic area of Savannah. Shrimp and grits is really the best shrimp and grits I've ever had, and like I said, it might have been the best meal I ever had. So here's a picture of that. The other thing I wanted to touch on about my visit to Savannah was I had a chance to meet some very unique characters. If you've ever been to Savannah, one thing that they're famous for is there's all sorts of tours offered to the city. It's a very historic city, it's a very beautiful city, and it has a lot of interesting stories about it. So you can find walking tours, biking tours, horse-drawn carriage tours, and trolley tours. I got to go on one of the trolley tours, and one of the cool things that this trolley company does is they put some famous characters from Savannah's history on the tour with you and kind of interact with you. On the specific tour I took, it was a very famous movie character from Savannah, Forrest Gump. And of course, in the movie Forrest Gump, Forrest is waiting on the bench for the bus to meet Jenny in Savannah. So Forrest was a passenger on the trolley ride I got to take. He was in character the entire time. He was great. I mean, really, he had all the movements, the speech down perfectly. It was very entertaining to be on a tour of Savannah with Forrest Gump. But here's a few images of Forrest Gump. So that's my little overview of my trip to Savannah. If you'd like to see a more detailed video talking about my trip to Savannah, I posted one on my personal channel. I'll put the link to that in the description box below. Love Savannah. It's probably my favorite city in the country. And that leads to my question to the viewers is, what is your favorite city to visit in America and why? Let me know in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed this video. And Holly, I will see you tomorrow.